Hey FLOSSTUBE, it's Leigh here from Creative Leigh on the 13th of March with FLOSSTUBE number 116. It's early, it's just gone 8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday morning, but I've got to get this video sort of recorded and up, and I've got to leave the house about 10:15 to pick up some friends and go have coffee and cake or whatever just to catch up. We haven't seen each other since our birthdays back in early January. So yeah, I need to do that. I got everything ready for my video last night, which I've never done before. Ironed everything, got it all sorted out, wrote my little notes, just so I could get up and get this recorded. So the light's really weird because I'm facing east, which is probably a bad idea. So I've got some light coming through the blinds. Sorry about that, just how it is. So, yeah, happy birthday. Would have been my Auntie Claire's birthday today, my mum's twin. So mum's birthday, she would have been 75 on Friday and Claire would have been 75 today. And of course we lost Claire a few weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I can't remember now, 4 weeks ago, I don't know. So yeah, my mum and Claire were twins, but they have birthdays 2 days apart. It was the 40s. They didn't know that my grandmother was having twins, so mum was born and on the 11th of March, and then as was the day, I guess they put you in a room and just you stayed in hospital for 3 to 5 days. I don't know how long you stayed in hospital for. And the story I've been told is that my grandmother, obviously, presumably, continued to have labour pains and essentially was sort of told by the head sister or the ward, whatever the midwife was back then, just to stop complaining. She'd had her baby and she needed to, you know, get over it kind of thing. So I guess she continued to be in labour for another day and then basically had Claire on her own, and the nurse came into the room, I think as the head was out, so that's considered a birth, I believe. And anyway, my understanding is that somebody senior lost their job because of this. But anyway, so yeah, so my mum and her twin were 2 days apart. So yeah, they're fraternal twins, probably obvious. I guess lucky Claire's, presumably waters hadn't broken for Claire. I don't know enough about childbirth, but lucky my grandmother didn't get an infection, all sorts of things, right? But yeah, they've always had this interesting story. So that's kind of fun. But anyway, Claire would have been 75, so I might give my cousin a call later on today and just say I'm thinking about her today. Of course I had a new start for my mum's birthday, which I'll show you soon. I do have quite a bit to show you, so I better get on with it. Have a little bit of haul has come in. I'll show you that first, I think. When I was in Dunedin last year, at the end of last year, October, Halloween, we visited Stitch, which is in Dunedin. I think they opened in 2020, you know, in the middle of a pandemic. And when I was down there, I left Sue, the Stitchy Sue, there are 2 Sues, a list of 103 silks that I need for a project, and said when they get some fox and rabbit 36 or 40, can't let me know. I'm going to lose my voice. I'm not a morning person, so it's 8:11 and I'm already struggling. So anyway, they reached out. They got a lot of the 103 in for me, and there's still a few on back order, and there was a range of fabrics. So I just picked a couple because budget. So I got 30 fat quarters of 40 count prehistoric by Fox and Rabbit. I should show you the colour. I haven't even taken these out. It's quite nice. I love a good grey. What does it smell like? It's okay, it doesn't smell really like anything. So that is the prehistoric 40 count. I have no specific plans for these other than one cannot have too many lovely neutrals. 36 count ancient ruin, and it's quite dark but quite luscious. So yeah, again, no idea what's going on it. However, I'm happy to have them. So they're the two that I chose. And then, as I said earlier, I got a bunch of 103 in, which are for the Alexanders of Llanrathen. So yeah, there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I still have 6 colours outstanding. So I had already bought, this was the only 3 they had when I was in Dunedin in October. So I just need 6 more colours, and currently I'm planning to stitch this on XG Design Light Hazelnut 46 count, which I think will be quite, it's a little bit darker than this, but I think it'll look really good. But this is not going to be a start this year. This is, I'm planning to customise the sampler quite a lot, and that needs quite a bit of work to do. I probably will stitch this in 2023. So this may very well be a January, my birthday start next year, but I don't know, we'll see. The personalisation that I need to do it before I stitch it, because it's, maybe not. It will change all of the border, because that's all the initials in the name and stuff, so, but I could, I guess, stitch the border outline and just leave the letters to later. I don't know, I overthink everything. Finally, my February Rainbow Club from Catherine turned up, which you may recall there was a bit of an issue where she accidentally sent my fabric to someone else, and then they decided to buy it. So, first up, anyway, so she had to re-dye, which is fine. I got my Fat Quarter this month, was a 35 count Lilac Grove. I'll show you the inside because she folds them so that the outside is on the outside, the inside is, so it's there. So it's basically a grey with a lilac undertone. And what am I going to stitch with this? This was a specific fabric order, and I am going to stitch this, and you're going to see a bit of the chart because I only have a chart, but I'll cover it with my hand. I can't remember what this is called. It's called something lampposts. I got it from Etsy, and I haven't even written it down. Anyway, so it's a lampposty kind of little crosshatchy thing. So it's got these little lampposts and little motifs. I'm going to stitch it with a variation of the called for because this is darker than white. Funny, eh? But it has these lovely moody colours. So the called for colours are 3740, 223, 225. And then I've gone a shade darker, so instead of 414 I've gone 413 because 414 blends in perfectly to this colour. So that will be what the lampposts are stitched in. And there was instead of 642, which was just, I don't like the colour on this fabric, I've changed the neutral to 841 to give it, so those are going to be the colours I'm going to stitch that in. So essentially that's kitted up now, although I do need to get a skein or two of this. It's on my list because that's all I've got left. Yeah, so that's kitted up now. So yeah, another one for the box. I don't know when I'll start it, but it's the sort of one where, yeah, I mean, it's just ready. I don't need all of this fabric, but I need the width, so I'll end up with a little bit left over and I'll trim that later. So I got a fat 8 in Catherine's great. So Catherine's great. She does fat 8s and small cuts as well. So you don't have to buy a huge piece of fabric when you only need a little bit. So I got 40 count in shortbread. So just a lovely warm cream. Well, not too creamy cream, but yeah, you know what I mean. And this is going to be for Carriage House Samplings, Mermaid song. Which I'm either going to just stitch with DMC or I'll see if I can kit it up from my own silk. So it does call for MPIs, but I'm not buying MPIs for a tiny little thing like this. But I need a black, a couple of browns, a blue-green taupe, no, 2 blue-greens, burgundy and a taupe. Or as we say here, taupe, but you know, taupe. So I probably could kit this up from my stash as long as I can find 2 raw siennas that look good together, 3 raw siennas and a couple of blue greens. So we'll see. Anyway, that's the fabric. So I might see what the March silk looks like from Silks for You and then try and stack, try and kit that up. But so that came in. I also got a handful of overdyes. I've given Catherine a wee list just every month, send me 5. And I got 3 more weeks. I've got Bright Leaf, Pelican Grey and Cinnabar. And they are for Friends of the Heart. So I think I only need 1 more and then I've got that kitted up. I've already got some of the overdyes in there. So I'm kitting up a small project from Winds of Autumn. So this book was a kind gift, a rack from Shan in Australia. And I am currently kitting up Bittersweet September, which in here is a little pincushion. I may or may not do it as a pincushion. But the reason I'm kitting this one up is that Judith gifted me a little piece of R&R linen, which I've never used R&R linen. So she gifted me Patriot Sprue, so a little piece. And it was enough for me to kit this up. So I've been slowly kitting up the called for. So again, 2 more Gentle Art. So Autumn Leaves and another skein of Gold Leaf. I do have Gold Leaf, but I only have a partial skein and I forgot I had it in another project. So I'm going to have plenty because I don't think you use very much gold leaf. Anyway, so I'm kitting that up. Because there was a bit of a muck up with my fabric this month, Catherine kindly offered to throw in a couple of overdyes as a gift for me. And so I requested 2 more skeins of wrought iron, which I need for my Ruskin's penguins. So that was very good of you, thank you, Catherine. That's everything that's come in. It's quite a lot, right? I did buy a couple of things or got a couple of charts. So I mentioned a little while ago, I think, maybe on here or maybe just to the Stitchy friends, that I really need to start buying some of the long dogs. So I've got them in my stash. Even though they're piteous and easily to get, it's just, you know, because they're not cheap, because I like the big ones. But I do intend to stitch Quinto Kuto or the pointed 5th this year because of the 550 and all that. So expect this to be one of my 50. So finally got the chart. I need to organise, I need to decide how I'm going to stitch it and as in what silk, because I'll use silk. I like to use silk with my long dogs because it's just so pleasurable. And I will stitch this on 36 count because, or 35, 36 count because that's what I stitch all of my long dogs on. It's just a thing that I do. So I need to decide the silk and then the fabric and plan to get that stitched sometime started sometime this year. It is so much fun. I do love that when you buy a long dog chart, if you haven't before, often because for the personalisation you get an alphabet. So it's quite cool. So I'm slowly building up a stash of alphabets because this one's different to the ones that she's used before, and often like little motifs as well. But then also there's usually a little bit of a spiel or a story about the design. So for this one, it just talks a little bit about the Gothic arch, which you can see on her website, but also she lists all of the animals that are on the chart, which is kind of fun. So, you know, 9 rabbits, hares, 1 pig, 7 dogs, 4 ducks, 5 peacocks, a lion, a unicorn, a moth, 2 dragons, 3 birds, a crab, spider, etc, etc, etc. And I think on the website she gives the octopus a name, so I need to look that up because she hasn't mentioned it here. But anyway, they're fun. She's a fun, quirky lady, I think. A little bit nuts, but in a good way. And I'm really looking forward to stitching that. A freebie chart that I downloaded that I'm not sure. So there's just all the details there if you want to have a look at the website. It's Marquois ABC Ancien Bleu et Rouge. It's a GGR free chart. I do like it how it's the mock-up here in the red and the blue as opposed to the yellow and the blue, and it is called for, it's charted for DMC 798 and 815, but I think in French it says knock yourself out with the colour. Yeah, it says the colours are given, it's actually in English, not in French. It's translated, the main information is translated. The colours offered are a suggestion only, it's up to you to select the colours that suit you. So if you stitch it on 20 count, 40 count, suggests 14 skeins of blue, however, that looks like that would be using 2 strands, which I wouldn't do. So it's probably like 7 skeins of one colour and 3 skeins of another. Anyway, I don't know. I liked it. So we'll see. It was free, and if you search for... Anyway, I'm just going to put that information there. Screenshot it. I can't even remember where I saw it. It might have been on the sampler Facebook page. And another freebie that was out there, I don't know if it's still on there, but on Sassy Jack, so quite a few people, including Judith, put me onto this, and I tried to download it several times. For some reason I never got the link, and then I tried a 3rd time and then the link worked for me, so I don't know what was going on there. But it was Red February, so on the Sassy Jack's blog, they have a link to it, and it's an adaptation from a Bristol squirrel, so you can stitch it on banding, so it's quite a long, thin sampler, but I've only got the chart, so example, the top is just a squirrel with some alphabets, and it has several motifs, and I might see if I can get some banding to stitch that on. I don't know, it's fine. Anyway, so that's 20 odd minutes in, and all I've shown you is all the crap I bought, so it's quite a lot, right? So what have I stitched on? So first up, I had my first new start, because I had 2 starts this week, and this will start 8 out of 50, so for my 50 at 50, I started on the 6th of March, Mary Rose Inspiration Quaker from Le Fille, I can't read it backwards, Le Fille de Mimi on 40 count Mallow Zweigart, using my own conversion based on the Stitch Palettes Bed of Roses. I've just added in a neutral there as well, like a lighter neutral. And that is gonna look something like this. Except my own colours, and I'm doing this as a start along, stitch along with Christine down in Dunedin, and Christine is stitching hers on, she's using 18 count Ada, which she dyed with Rose Quartz Rit, and she's using 3799 and a range of reds, pinks and corals, and it looks beautiful. I've got 14% done. I managed to wrangle this chart into Pattern Keeper because it is old, so I had to split it, reorganise it, then adjust all the measurements in Pattern Keeper. So it finally got in. It was quite, because when you would load it in, it would only load 2 pages, even though there were 4. Finally got it to work, so it's quite handy. So yeah, 14%, just over 14%, and colours are being tweaked a little bit, e.g. in the chart, the people are like a blushy colour, but mine are going to be the lighter of the brown, so all my people are going to be skin tone 008, and then where the trousers were charted for dark, and this, because of the skin, you know, just messed around so that they're not bright orange faces, because the bright orange, that orange would have been their faces, so they would look like Oompa Loompas, which is not the look I'm going for. But I'm really happy with it. So I quite like, they're actually 2 shades of brown, so these 2 are different colours. What is it? I've got 938, 3371, and then the skin tone, the lighter brown is 008, and then 3 shades different oranges. Anyway, it's going to be quite a big one. We wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah, so I stitched on that for a couple of days and then was happy to call that a good start. So after I gave Mary Rose a couple of days, I then decided, you know, have a change. Especially since I really like the look of the, Mallow linen, but like anything, it's like eating whole grain bread compared to white, right? The texture's different. So where an over-dyed fabric is usually with a white linen base, the Mallow is a natural linen, and it is coarser, I guess. It's very closely woven, which is nice. You can carry some threads if you want to, but took me a little bit of time to get into it, and it's not as nice as stitching on over-dyed linen. So then I was like, let's go back to Come to the Garden by Teresa Kogut, my first start of 50, so 1 of 50, and which I'm stitching on 40 count beige for Weeks Dye Works. Looks like that. Don't know why I'm sure. Looks like that. There you go. It's quite fun. So this is a partial, it's mostly called for with a couple of substitutions for Victorian mottos. And I got that big vase on the right done, so above the word thy and the little bird. I think I finished, no, I did the little bird last time. I just did this whole big thing and the little bee and the little doodad down there, so it's all completely finished across here. If I hadn't had another start, I would have carried on and got the top couple of fill-ins done to finish up here, but by the time I got up that bird done, I was ready for my second start of the week. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. So I think it's coming along so good. Very, very happy with it. So you can probably tell I'm quite keen to keep working on that regularly to get it finished. Very conscious the fact that I don't want to end the year with 40 whips. So, and then I had my second start for the week because it was Mum's birthday on Friday, or would have been her birthday. I wanted to do a special extra start for her, and the ocean's important. The ocean reminds me of my mum. Her name means bitter sea, Marie, M-A-R-I-E. And so I'm going to do, I started the Mermaid sampler, which I'm going to change the name to her name, Marie Hall, was her maiden name, and then her date of birth, which was 1947. So I'm going to change it for her. Otherwise, all the called for DMC on a scrap of 40 count Oyster from Country Stitch. Got quite a bit done, a couple of days worth of stitching. So I worked on this I started it on Friday, no. I started at Friday lunchtime. I got a little tiny bit done. And then I ended up going out to friends for dinner, so didn't get anything done on Friday night. And I did quite a bit yesterday. It was kind of a crappy day yesterday. Plans that I had fallen through because my friend was being cautious because her son was showing symptoms. So she said, let's just not meet, which was fine. So I got quite a bit done, so got the rest of it done. So in here and in here is all fill-in. So there is still a bird, there's a plant in here and a bird in here. So once I do them, then that's all fill in. So I'm basically going to do everything, and then I can just fill in. There's a boat here and the mermaid here. But I do love it. I think it is such a fun little project. This is my first Carriage House samplings. I have quite a few in my box of kits. So I'm loving it. I love the style. It's sort of quirky and a bit prim and just a sort of naive art, really, and I'm really enjoying it. So that was my second start. So yeah, that was start 9 of 50. So we're almost a fifth of the way in, which is amazing. Then, because I decided that was a good point to stop, yesterday afternoon I thought, you know what, while I'm watching a bit of telly, I could finish something. So I pulled out A Gentleman's Daughter by Plum Street, which was start number 5, so start 5 of 50, which I started on the 13th of February. I finished it yesterday on the 12th of March. So I've got 36 count sand from Victorian Motto Sampler Shop using a partial conversion, and actually I wasn't watching telly, I was listening to a podcast series, Huzzah, and I'm very happy with it. It's such a fun quick little stitch. I mean, for me it's quick. And just shoved my initials down here in the grass, LAM 2022. And ta-da! So what was called for? In the end, hickory sticks, which is the roof. The roof has, nope. Hickory sticks is used in the writing and the flagpole and in those little motifs. Hickory sticks is called for. The red and the blue, so deep sea and ruby slippers are called for. And the only other colour that was called for was, I did use Weeks Dye Works parchment, but I used it where it was called for snowball. So the sheep and these little things here were called for snowball, but I used parchment, and instead of parchment I used a Tom and Lily. So yeah, that's what it looks like on the chart. So I have another finish. I'm very happy with it. Yay me. I'm so itchy. Oh. Okay, so that means that this chart is now ready to be let loose into the wild. Do you like that frame actually? So I'm going to offer this up as a pasta stash. If you would like to put your name in for Plum Street, I will post it anywhere. It's not too big. All the normal stuff, right? Don't say giveaway and all that crap. Just like, you know the rules. So if you'd like to be in for a chance for me to pass this to you, I would like you to put in the comment something about, you know what, just make it easy. Just mention Plum. Just say Plum Street, Plum. like plums. You don't have to be clever, I'm too tired. It's too early in the morning, I just don't do. I've got to get this edited. So just mention plum and just say, I want to win the Plum Street. That's fine. And I will draw that next week. So you're welcome. Yay me. I'm not intending to start anything this week because I did 2 last week, but that might change. I might randomly pull something out of the works. I don't know. I haven't really looked. I have just been really busy at work. So work's been really busy, but because we're in the middle of our Omicron wave and expected to peak this week, next week, I'm kind of being really careful about who I socialise with and how often I socialise, sort of 1 a week kind of thing. So I'm kind of just staying home stitching really. So yay, that's good for the channel because I get to show a lot of stuff. But yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do this week. I could easily come home from my catch up with my friends and decide, screw it, I'm going to start a new thing. But I don't know. I don't have any plans right now. So that's all I've got. It's quite a lot. What? 2 new starts, a finish, a whip, some hauls, some free charts. Yeah, it's quite a lot. I don't know what I say. That's all I've got. That's all I've got this week. I'm going to wrap this up. It's really long. Hopefully I can edit a whole chunk out. And I will see you all next week. Thank you for coming along, watching my video. Sorry about the croaky voice. I mean, to be fair, I'm not really any time of the day person. I will talk to you all next week, and yeah, thoughts go out for the people of Ukraine. Don't let your needles rust. Ciao.